tribal was certainly surreal. I mean, I picked up 3 votes, could have gone home, and now that just makes me want to play a bit more harder. Well, not really at the moment because, well, I just came out from tribal and I was kind of on the chopping block, so yeah, I don't want to put a target on my back any more than I already have because I'm the weakest player on the tribe. So my game plan is to just try and make it through till the merge, and either I play it quietly or I play it aggressively. As long as I get there, I should be fine. I don't understand why Eric and Emily just wouldn't vote with us. Well, they probably got a reason. I mean, I've kind of got good connections with Emily, but yeah, I guess maybe like I'm not 100% trust her, but you know, that connections are basically all we've got. Yeah, I guess so. I just really don't know what to do. I don't know what to do, really, because, well, it was kind of shocking for me. Last tribal was certainly an eye-opener. I didn't expect that coming. I didn't expect Scarlet to be the first person taken out. And now it kind of makes me think about my own game. I mean, am I doing enough? Are the people I'm in an alliance with enough? Like, Hannah is saying, well, I've got okay connections with Emily, maybe we can make something happen there. And I said, yeah, I mean, that's fine, but she didn't vote with me. So how do I know I can trust her? So maybe I need to find my own path in this game that is not really with Hannah or Emily, because while I can trust Hannah, I can't trust Emily. And yeah, so it's gonna make me hard. It's gonna make it hard to work with her. Well, good work, guys. We got rid of Scarlet. Yeah, so we're still gonna stick together. Well, in my opinion, I think it's stupid if we just like split up now. What do you think? Yeah, I kind of agree. Yeah? Yeah, I think it's stupid. But then we have to pick a target, and in my opinion, I don't know about you guys, you can speak up if you want to. I think we need to keep Chuck because he's stronger, and I know Hannah and Scarlet is also strong, but she's gone now, so take her out of the picture. But we need Chuck. I mean, like, how else are we going to cope in immunity challenges? Isn't that kind of just like being a bit hypocritical? Yeah, I guess, but like, if this 5 is in it for the long run, we need Chuck. Yeah, he's right. So, guess we're gonna vote for Hannah. Off the bat, I've already started coming to this game and playing aggressively, and maybe my next move should be trying to conceal my threat level, but I don't intend to take the foot off the chokehold right now. I've got Chuck and Hannah under me, and as long as they're still under me, I should be safe because my alliance hopefully won't flip. So yeah, at the moment, I think I'm in a comfortable position, and we take Hannah out now, we keep Chuck, and maybe hopefully we can win a couple of immunity challenges with him. And if we are to lose again, just get rid of Chuck. And then if we are to lose again, because Chuck's gone, and it's the 5 of us, at least I have my idol, which secures me safety, and hopefully a majority. So I'm not really nervous. So what do you think? I mean, like, I get the idea of getting rid of Hannah and keeping Chuck around, but honestly, those 2 are like our strongest members at the moment. And I feel like we need to balance it out. We got rid of Scarlet, those 2 are on the bottom, they're not much of a threat, so now we can just turn the tables and try and get one of our weaker members. Yeah, I honestly think taking out maybe James or Heather is smarter at the moment, because, yeah, they're just gonna be lacking in challenges. So, me and Hannah kind of made a neutral deal that no matter kind of what I did, me and her might consider working with each other, and that was kind of like the overall reason why I voted for Scarlet, because it was a big opportunity, but I didn't want to jeopardize my game in the process, and I haven't. And I just feel like maybe we just consider taking out Heather and James. I mean, like, I think, in my opinion, it's smarter, because they are our weaker members, and we need to win challenges, and we need to send those returnees to Tribal Council, and we're not going to do that if we take out Chuck and Hannah. Hey Josh. Hey you two, what do you want? So, we don't like disagree with the idea of taking out Hannah, we just think it's smarter if we take out maybe Heather or James, because we just think we need to take out a weaker person to balance the tribe out. I mean, I get your reasoning, but in my opinion we need them, because they are in our alliance. I mean, I'm not against the idea, I just think it's smarter because, yeah, they are in an alliance, and long term, they'll probably be much more rather to work with us than those 2. I mean, yeah, I guess so. Not for 1 second, and I gonna consider changing my game plan. My game plan set. We take out Hannah. I'm not changing my idea. And I honestly feel like overall, with James and Heather, we have a chance. I mean, not in challenges, but as an alliance and going further. I mean, I guess I agree with the fact that if we get to the merge and we're down on numbers to the returning players, yeah, that's not going to look pretty for us. But I just feel like as an alliance, if we turn on the alliance now, it's just going to be a complete mess. Josh is completely oblivious to the idea. Well, not really oblivious, he just doesn't agree with it. And he comes up with a valid point, like, I guess they are in our alliance and stuff, but I still want to consider potentially taking out a weaker member over our stronger member to help us win in challenges. I kind of want to see what Emily thinks. So what do you think? In my opinion, I just say we go for it. I mean, he's not going to flip, so I don't know, we have to try and make something. I guess we can go with Hannah and Chuck. I don't know, vote out James and Heather, take matters into our own hands. I mean, yeah, personally, I get the idea, but I think it's smarter for us to keep our options open. So, it's no stretch of the imagination that Josh is a big threat. I mean, he obviously is. He controlled the last vote, and if we're not careful, he'll control the next few. And I feel like, to prevent that, we need to take matters into our own hands. Me and Eric, that would be. But Eric wants to keep his options open, which I understand, but I don't want to. So, I might skip that phase and just move straight on to what I want to do. Hey girl. Hey Emily. What do you want? Well, I'm sorry I didn't vote with you guys last tribal, but are you still like willing to work for me? I mean, yeah, I said I would, so there's no reason why I wouldn't. Why? Well, I was just kind of thinking that maybe me and you, if we work together and maybe, I don't know, get Chuck involved, you know, we could try and take out either James or Heather because they're weaker. I've actually kind of been giving this a bit of thought. Why don't we like align ourselves with Heather and try and make like a girls alliance thing? You know, I think that would be quite cool. I mean, like, the idea of it's come up in the past, but like no one's really ever gone through with it. Yeah, no, I think that could be interesting, like be the first girls to actually lead a successful girls alliance. Not a stupid idea. So yeah, the game is moving across quite quickly. Like, I think everyone in each season actually says that, oh, the game's heating up, and it's heating up quickly. And I kind of think, well, let me try something bold. You know, it might be a bit dumb, might be a bit smart, but I feel like if we could pull it off, it'd be legendary. And I kind of think in a girls' alliance would be interesting, because the idea of it's been, thought of in previous seasons. They just either haven't gone through with it, or it's been unsuccessful. And I feel like if me and Emily put careful planning forward, you know, potentially it could work. Hey Heather. Hey you two, what do you want? We were just kind of thinking that, like, what's stopping the three of us as girls working together? I mean, it's not a stupid idea. I mean, think about it. Like, there's been Girls Alliance been talked up before in previous seasons, but none of them have been really successful. I mean, I don't mind it. I think the three of us could work well together. We're relatively young. Well, yeah, youngish. I think we've got quite close personalities and stuff. I think we could work well together. Yeah, okay, well, I guess this works, and we just need a boy to work with us, and we've got a majority. So, the game seems to have, improved for me. I was previously in the majority, but now I kind of feel like I have actually a foothold in the decision making. Well, I was fine with the decisions being made by Josh. I didn't want him to have, full, decisions over what his moves were. The only thing is, hopefully, maybe I could bring James into this idea, because, well, I don't know if me and him are 100% close. He seems to be the only person I've really gelled with, so me and him have that chemistry going on. And I think the four of us could really run this game. Hey, James. Oh, hey, Heather. What do you want? Well, I was just asked into a girls' alliance. Really? Yeah, so the three of them wanted to work with me and try and make something out of nothing, really. And we need a majority, so I think me and you have kind of good chemistry going along. I mean, we don't know each other the best, I guess, but I guess we're the only people we've really gelled with, really. So I was just wondering if we should work together. I'll think about it. Yeah, no, I'm good. Reason is how many people can get into a final three? 3 people, well, of course. How many people are in this alliance? 4. How many of them are girls? 3. Are the girls really going to work together? Well, yes, because it was 3 girls who orchestrated the girls' alliance. So I'm just there for a vote. I know I am. I don't know if Heather really picked it up yet, but I know I'm there just to vote with them to get a majority. The moment they don't need me, they'll vote my ass off. So yeah, as much as like I kind of understand the move, and like I'm alright being like the sole decider and kind of what's going on there and being in the majority alliance, it's not really beneficial for my long-term game. Hey guys. Oh hey James. I just heard that, well, from Heather, that the girls are trying to form a girls' alliance and they asked me to form a majority with them. And as you can see, that doesn't look very well for, well, us. Yeah, that sounds a bit intimidating. So what do we do? Well, isn't it kind of obvious? We need to like stick together. Make sure that doesn't happen. And I guess we take Hannah, Emily and Heather out. Yeah, well, I guess so. Any ideas? In my opinion, probably Heather, because she's probably the weakest out of those 3. Yeah, I mean, like, I kind of like Emily. I mean, Chuck kind of has good connections with Hannah, but in the end, yeah, Heather's the weaker one out of the 3 of them. Alright, Heather it is. Yeah, cool. So, it's clear that James was asked into that alliance, and he obviously refused because he told us about it. And if they're looking for a 4th person to give them a majority, I don't mind being that 4th person. I mean, like I said, I want to keep my options open. So we can either vote the boys or the girls. And that puts me into a swing vote position, and I honestly like that position. If those 3 girls would allow me to work with them. Well, that obviously didn't sound good for us. No, heck no, it didn't. Hey Josh, so I've just kind of been thinking, if Hannah's like going on with this idea, she's probably not going to need me very much anymore. Well, here's the thing. I'm quite strong and you're quite strategic. And there has been good dynamics like that through the seasons and stuff. I just kind of think that maybe me and you could potentially work well together. Yeah, like you said, that dynamic does work. It's worked before. It's not a stupid idea. I think me and you could run some alliances together. And honestly, I've been looking into it. You benefit the tribe, and I think keeping you around would be a smart idea. So if we're gonna keep you around, why don't I align with you? Yeah, so it kind of makes sense, right? Yeah, I'm not against it. Well, so a dynamic between brawn and brain it's very interesting. I mean, you hear the common saying of brain versus brawn, David versus Goliath, the usual stuff, where you think, can the scrawny little nerd person defeat the gigantic strong guy? And yeah, that dynamic has been seen throughout, well, life in general and in this game. But there has been times when brawn and brain have come together and caused some mayhem. And as well as I want to play a rather heroic game, if that makes sense, I need allies. And I think me and Josh, with that dynamic of brain and brawn together, could be quite a good one. Okay, so, well, Lindsay and Cassandra welcome Ken and Carol into the alliance. Hey girls. So Carol talked to me and she said, I know you guys are in an alliance and are you looking for 2 other members? Well, of course we were, so I just kind of allowed it. I don't mind that. Yeah, I don't have a problem with it. If this 5 is strong, then we can take out those 3 boys. What do you guys think? I mean, yeah, that's kind of why we joined. When Gavin tried to form an alliance with me and Carol and Rick and Lucas, and I just kind of thought, well, yeah, I mean, I don't mind it, it's a majority, but working with Gavin, I think Cassandra can answer this for all of us, is kind of risky. Yet, it most certainly is. I don't want to sound paranoid at all, but I can't help but get paranoid. I'm the only boy in that alliance, and in a potential final 5 situation, that could be awful for me. As they 4 girls could say, hey, why don't we just work together and take Ken out? And I don't like that. So maybe it's best for me to consider my options with Carol. And it's probably going to be hard for Carol, because if she does work with me, then she'll be the only girls in that boys alliance. And that's just, yeah, it's difficult. But, like, I guess all that comes down to is who we distrust more. Do we distrust Gavin, or do we just distrust the three girls more? Who knows? I don't want to sound paranoid and all, but like, I'm the only boy in that alliance. Yeah, well, I guess I get the paranoia. It could be bad for you. What do you think? Well, I think we should keep our options open, and I know that if we do work with Rick, Lucas, and Gavin, then you'll be the only girl there, but I just feel like instead of this, like, overall considering that, maybe we should just, like, focus on who we distrust more. I thought we distrust Gavin the most. Yeah, that probably puts Gavin in front, but we barely know those three girls. Maybe we should just keep an eye out. Yeah, I understand Ken's, problem there, and I understand the fact that maybe we should just consider voting out someone who we distrust. And I thought that was the idea of working with those three girls, because he didn't trust, and no one trusts Gavin at all, because of his, the prowess and the threat he poses from season 2. However, I get its other reasoning that, one of those three girls could be dangerous. We haven't really got to know them very well. I mean, I trust Chrissy, but the other two, I haven't really got to talk to them. What do you wanted to talk about? I just wanted to ask, is there anybody out of those girls that me and Ken could potentially should be worried about, trust-wise? Well, Lindsay's kind of, big on strategy, and rather than socializing, because she kind of wants to play the game fast-paced. Meanwhile, Cassandra, if things aren't really going her way, or she doesn't really agree with people, she'll just want to turn on them instantly. Thank you. That could have been a mistake, is telling Carol the personalities of Lindsay and Cassandra could push her away. However, I kind of had to do it. I don't lie. I literally hate lying. I don't think I ever lied in the Congo rainforest, and I don't intend to lie this time. I mean, I can draw the line at white lies, but if I have to lie about something important, I just can't do it. And that's probably a failing in my game, but honestly, if I ever get in a situation where I have to lie, yeah, that's where I might collapse. So I just got some news from Chrissy. Yeah. So Lindsay, she's really big into strategy. She might not be the best at it, but she'd rather have a strategic conversation with you rather than just a normal social one. She really wants to get down to business. While Cassandra is, if things aren't going her way, or she thinks that you're against her or something like that, she'll instantly just want you out. That's good to know. Why would she tell you that? Honestly, I don't know, and I think she was telling the truth, because why would Chrissy throw her two allies under the bus, just like that? That's good to know. So, if we ever need information about the side that Chrissy might be on, we can just go to her. She might spill the beans. So, I like Chrissy. She's a big asset to me, and I don't want to sound like a dick. She's a nice person. People who don't lie are genuinely nice people to be around, but in this game, she'll be a big asset to me, because if I need some information that only Chrissy knows, then I can go up to her and say, hey, have you heard anything about this? I mean, I'm not saying she'll just throw it out there like that. She might not tell the entire truth, but she'll tell enough truth for me to get some information, and that's important. Hey, do you guys know where Carol and Ken are? No idea. You don't think they're talking to those three girls, don't you? I mean, I don't see why they wouldn't, but I'm not crossing it off the list. So, some interesting things are happening. Well, not interesting for me, because it could be quite bad. Is Ken and Carol potentially could flip, and that's not good. So, I need to make sure that they don't do that. How exactly? To be honest, I actually have no idea. I've never really been in the position where I haven't really had a majority, until I did actually eventually get voted out in Season 2. And all my moves I was able to make because, no one looked like they were going to flip. And now that people look like they're going to flip, yeah, it kind of just damages well, the game for me. So yeah, me, Rick and Lucas need to make sure that doesn't happen. Hey, you two. Hey, Gavin, what do you want? You guys aren't thinking of flipping, are you? No. Good. Looks like we're gonna keep an eye out on him. Shh, he'll hear you. I suspect a little bit of an uprising from them. And if they do uprise, I don't know what I'm gonna do. Because then I'm kind of stuck between a rock and a hard place. I could potentially try and convince maybe Chrissy, Cassandra and Lindsay to turn on them. Or I can try and convince those two to not flip. Yeah, that's basically my two options. So yeah, so if I do figure out that they are potentially going to flip, then yeah, the plan is set. Those are my options. Me and Ken have got to be really careful. Until we can get Gavin out of the game, we are not safe. If he figures out that, well, me and him are potentially going to try and vote him out, that could be bad. And I don't want to be in a position where I don't sense a blindside coming in and I'm on the receiving end of it and either me and Ken go out. And to be honest, I'm starting to like him. Like I said, it's probably not going to be the same as me and Chase, but you know, the longer me and him are together, the closer we'll get. And I don't need Gavin going around breaking that up. Do you think Ken and Carol will flip? I mean, I can't take any chances, can we? What are we gonna do? I mean, we can help Gavin, or go look for the idol. Yep. So I'm in a position where me and Rick probably not going to be in the receiving end of a Ken and Carol flip. That's probably most likely going to be Gavin. Well, I potentially could be because of my physical prowess, but me and Rick decided, let's go and look for the idol. I mean, yeah, the two of us kind of we've got a, partnership going along here, a bit of a duo going along, and I think two people looking for the idol increases our odds of finding it, and just having it is it's a good feeling. Alright, you take watch, I'll look. Okay. Looking for the idol could be potentially dangerous and could put a target on my back, but like I said, if I don't have a target on my back, I'm not working hard enough. So yeah, I completely agree with me and Lucas's idea to go and look for the idol, because if we have it, we suddenly go from a very, meh position in the game to a very good position in the game. I think I see somebody. Oh, who is it? It might be Chrissy. Hey, Chrissy, don't engage, you dumbass. Oh, there's no one near you, idiot. Tricked you. Really? We're doing this right now? I think the more bonding me and Rick do, the better that chemistry and relationship becomes. And that's important because, if we ever get into trouble, we can help a brother out because that connection is there. And the stronger that bond becomes, the easier it is to make moves, the easier it is to work together, the easier it is to potentially put our vote and our life in the game on the line to save each other. Hey Cassandra. Hey Lindsay. I just kind of feel like maybe the two of us got off to the wrong page, and I just feel like that might jeopardize the alliance. Yeah, I get that. So me and Lindsay, we didn't really get off to the right page, and we're in an alliance together, so that's not a good feeling. And I just feel like for me and her, yeah, she might be the person selling it, but it's important that I listen. And I haven't had the best start to this game. I feel like I've been a bit of a jerk, and I can't be doing that because I need to evolve. I'm coming out here because I probably didn't have the best game in Season 2. I was maybe a bit naive, and I need to change that. Me and Cassandra have, we're in an alliance together. We have the same alliance, we have the same allies, and if me and her, me and her have opposite opinions, and if we let that get in the road of a potential alliance, and a good alliance as well that could go a long way, we're all stuffed, including our allies. So it's for us to be the bigger people here and just get to know each other and get onto the right path and get onto the right page. And Yeah, that starts with the first step, which is just, to admit that we did something wrong. Are you ready to get to your second immunity challenge? Yeah! For today's challenge, 2 members of each tribe will race out and try and push this block back to your team's assigned block. You, the two members, can stop the other team from getting the block to the other team's block any way they want. You can just not attack their head. Are we all clear? Yep. Before we begin, returnees, you're sitting somebody out. Who's it gonna be? I'll also give you a time to strategize, and then we'll get started. The returnees have chosen to sit out Carol. Starting off for the newbies, we have Emily and Hannah. And for the returnees, we have Lindsay and Cassandra. Survivors ready? Go! Both pairs of girls racing out for the block. Lindsay has a small lead. Lindsay gets the block and is now starting to push it. But she's got everybody else around her. Oh! Hannah knocks over Lindsay. Meanwhile, Cassandra and Emily are fighting over the block. Cassandra and Emily still fighting over the block. Lindsay and Hannah have finished their fight and they're now getting up to help their teammate. Lindsay and Cassandra are starting to drag it back to the block. Emily and Hannah are trying to get it to their block, but their momentum is not with them. Emily ditches the block and is starting to attack Cassandra. So is Hannah. Hannah gets Lindsay down. Cassandra gets Emily down. Hannah has gone over to help her teammate. Meanwhile, Emily is pushing the block towards her team's block. Emily, meanwhile, gets up and is starting to attack Lindsay now. Hannah is starting to pull the block over to the newbies' block. Meanwhile, Cassandra is going in to try and stop that. Cassandra is trying to pull the block from Hannah. Meanwhile, Lindsay has got the upper hand over Emily. Hannah very slowly bringing the newbies back into this contest. But Lindsay has gone in to help. Ooh, Emily takes out Lindsay again. Hannah has now got momentum over Cassandra. Lindsay once again gets the upper hand over Emily. Meanwhile, Cassandra and Hannah are now going at it. Hannah knocks over Cassandra. Lindsay is coming in to help her teammate. Emily still going after Lindsay. Hannah has almost got the block to the newbie block. Lindsay gets Emily to the ground. Hannah is trying to get the block onto the newbie block. Cassandra, can she save it? But it's too late. Hannah gets the block to the newbies block, meaning the newbies lead 1-0 over the returning players. We're playing to 3. Next up we have, for the newbies, Eric and James taking on for the returnees, Gavin and Rick. Survivors ready? Go! All the boys are racing out to get the block. It's Rick and Eric who get to the block first. James and Gavin still haven't got there, but they're almost there to help their teammate. Rick and Gavin are starting to get the block towards the returning block. Meanwhile, Eric and James have no momentum. The returnees change up their strategy. James attacks Gavin and Eric attacks Rick. All the players having a full-on fight now. Rick gets Eric to the ground. Gavin gets James to the ground. Rick beginning to pull the block with Gavin. Eric and James are very slow getting up. Rick and Gavin start to get things moving, but Eric and James are going in to stop that. Gavin is taking on Rick. Meanwhile, it's Rick and Eric fighting over the block. Gavin takes down James and goes to help Rick to get the block off Eric. Ooh, but it's too late for James and Eric. Rick and Gavin get the first points for the returnees. We are tied up 1 each. In the next round, we have Josh and Heather for the newbies taking on Ken and Cassandra for the returnees. Survivors ready? Go! It's a race out to the block. Already, Ken is starting to attack
Josh. Cassandra gets to the block first, and Heather is far behind. Ken is wrestling Josh on the ground. Meanwhile, Cassandra and Heather are battling over the block, but Cassandra has more momentum. We have a full-on battle between Ken and Josh now. Meanwhile, Cassandra is dragging the block and Heather at the same time, it seems. It's a big fight between Ken and Josh. Meanwhile, Cassandra has no threat from Heather as she has fallen over. Ken has pinned down Josh yet again. Cassandra is about to finish this for the returning players. And she does. Cassandra and Ken win a point for the returning players. They lead 2-1. We're playing to 3. Returnees need one more point to win. In the fourth round, we have Chuck and Hannah taking on Lindsay and Lucas. If the returnees win the point, they win the challenge, and the newbies need a point to keep it alive. Survivors ready? Go! The boys out quickly while Lindsay and Hannah competing in their second round are going a little bit slower. Everybody is on the block and it is not moving. No one can get the block to move, it seems. Someone's gonna have to make the first move. Lucas and Chuck go at it now. Lindsay gets a bit of momentum. Meanwhile, Lucas has got Hannah and Chuck in a bit of a scrap now. Lindsay is continuing to drag the block. Lucas has pinned down both Chuck and Hannah. Hannah gets away and is going to stop Lindsay. Meanwhile, Chuck gets a bit of an upper hand over Lucas now. Ooh, Josh takes down Lucas in a big hit. Meanwhile, the two girls are fighting over the block. Chuck is up and is going to try and help Hannah. Ooh, Chuck puts a big shot on Lindsay. And Lucas retaliates with a hit of his own on Chuck. Lucas and Chuck are still going at it. Meanwhile, Lindsay and Hannah look like they're going to go after it. Lindsay pushes Hannah over, opening the door for Lindsay. Lindsay is quick to pounce on the opportunity. Meanwhile, Hannah is still collecting her thoughts as Lucas and Chuck are still going at it. Lindsay is about to finish it for the returning players, but can Hannah do something about it? Meanwhile, Lucas and Chuck are still going at it. And Lindsay has it, meaning the returnees win the third point, and that means they win immunity and are safe from the vote. Congratulations, returnees on winning immunity. You're safe from the vote. As for the newbies, I've got nothing else for you, but date with me at Tribal Council where somebody will be the second person voted out for this game. Returnees, none of you could be going home. Grab your stuff and back to camp. Newbies, I'll see you tonight. For a tribe, particularly probably wanting a weaker person out, it didn't help that I didn't do very well in that challenge. So potentially I could have been targeted, but I still think there's aspects to my, that I bring to this team and challenges that could be useful later on. So maybe I need to bring that up. Otherwise, I could be going home. Tribal, it's not the place you want to go, but unfortunately, since we lost again, we're going to have to go back. Obviously, going to Tribal again a little bit sooner than we wanted to, but unfortunately, someone's going to have to go home, and hopefully, me, Josh, and Eric or James and stuff, we've got a full majority if we wanted to take out one of those girls, and at the moment, I think it's in our best mind to potentially take out Heather. So, I think if the four of us are going to vote together, I think we take out Heather because, she didn't prove herself really in that challenge. Yeah, so Heather it is. I mean, think about it though, there might be a different aspect to her game, strategically, that we can use later on. I mean, yeah, but we've also got other strategic players. We've got me, you, James, we've got Josh. I mean, Emily can be smart when she wants to be, so Heather just a third wheel at that point. Yeah, so I guess we just need to take her out. Heather is somebody I can relate to because we're not physical, and I guess if you're a weak link, you might want to stick together, but she's in an alliance that's against me, and if she's an enemy, she needs to go, so yeah, as much as it's probably not, so I could potentially make an alliance with her, I've got to take her out because I need to get further in the game. Alright guys, nice talk, I've got to go. So, at the beginning of the game, like really early on, I was skeptical of lots of people about connections and stuff. And as much as I hope I've got a connection with Eric with this boys alliance, him running off seemingly out of nowhere, he seems a bit quiet, and he's not a stupid player either. Makes me concerned, so I might need to put my spy glasses on. Hey girls. Oh hey Eric, what do you want? Have you guys asked James to be in an alliance? Yes. He's not going to do that. And if you need a fourth person, I'm happy to do that, but who are you guys going to vote for? Well, I mean, it's either between James or Josh, in my opinion, because, well, James is probably the weakest member. I think Josh is like, you know, he's probably more dangerous, if you get what I mean. Yeah, but that could also be, he could also be used as like a meat shield later on. I mean, people like overlook that aspect a lot. And I just feel like James' time in the game's up. So we're gonna vote James? Yeah, I guess James it is. Okay, I'll think about it. So, Eric coming up to us, seemingly out of nowhere, is a bit suspicious, and I don't know how he knew that we were trying to get James into this thing. And then he said, well, James is not going to do it. I don't know how he figured this all out, and that kind of makes me not trust him, but Emily seems to trust him. I seem to trust Emily, so there could be something there. Potentially he could be a swing vote because, well, there are 3 boys, he's a boy, there could be a boys alliance popping up if they catch wind about our alliance, which I think they probably have because, well, we told James about the idea and James is not willing to work with us. So hopefully he works with us, and yeah, at the moment that's our best option. So I've got, well, 2 options. I can either go with Heather or I can either go with James, and they both have the same strategic value in terms of the move. I mean, they're both weak. That's basically it. That's basically what it comes down to. And they both have seemingly the same strength and seemingly, well, they just offer the same amount to the tribe, which makes the decision harder. So I guess the decision is, who can I trust more, the boys or the girls? Boys, we've got a problem. What kind of problem? Well, I think Eric's gonna be a swing vote. What do you mean? Well, I just overheard him talking with the girls, and he's either gonna work with us or he's either gonna work with them. So, any suggestions? Well, I guess the only suggestion is we're gonna try and make sure that he works with us. I mean, yeah, I have an idea. It's kind of bold. I'll come back and talk to you. So, Josh runs off, and he's going to try and make a bold move. And, yeah, I'm all for that. I mean, it's not me making the bold move, which means Josh has got, well, at the moment, more of a resume for the in-game than me. And I know it's a bit early to be thinking about the in-game, but it must cross your mind eventually, right? So, yeah, eventually I've got to consider turning on him. But right now, he might be my best shot of making it through tonight's vote. Hey, girls. Hey, Josh, what do you want? Well, you guys were talking to Eric, right? How do you know that? Well, I just kind of figured because he wasn't talking to us, and he's not like a person who, I mean, he shies away from conversation, so I presume he was talking to you guys. And yes, he was talking to us. He wants to get rid of you, Heather. That's what he said to the 3 of us. Oh, really? And so, did he talk to you about a target? Yeah. So, he's a swing vote then. So, like, it's the battle between us and you? Yes, but it doesn't have to be. I think we've given Eric too much power. And if Eric has the swing vote power, it's dangerous for not only me, but also you guys, because potentially one of you guys could go home as well. Most likely being you, Heather. All I'm saying is, maybe we join forces tonight and put a unanimous vote on Eric. Interesting. It's time to innovate, and that's what I've just done. If I can pull off a move where we bring 2 alliances that don't really like each other, or, well, I'm not saying that we don't like each other, I'm just saying we're on different sides of the system, and we come to an agreement that we need to get rid of Eric and we get rid of him, that would be perfect for not only just my game but everyone else's game, because Eric is a dark horse. And dark horses tend to make a big impact. And I'm not just helping my game, I'm not being selfish, I'm helping a lot of people's games. And I'll be the ringmaster. I'll be the person at the center of it to help me, get further in the game and potentially win at the end. Well, what do we do now? Well, he makes a fair point. The only thing I'm worried about is if we do it, it evens the battlefield, it makes it 3-3. Then we have to flip one of them. Well, in my opinion, if we do it, I may be able to flip James. Wow. Yeah, that could work. Tonight, it's go big or go home. We've been given an option. We can work with Eric. Potentially, if he's going to take... I don't know who he's going to take out. That's the thing. He's a swing vote, so we don't know who he's going to vote for anyway. So we can either go for the risk, put our votes on, James. I think that's who we agreed on. And if Eric does work with us, which I hope he does, if we go through with that move, then James goes home, or we can work with Josh, which we don't know if he's trying to play us, and try and unanimously vote out Eric. The thing is that if we don't vote out Eric, and those three vote out, put their votes on Eric, we put our 3 votes on James, maybe Eric puts his vote on whoever he originally thought he was going to put his votes on from the boys' side, and maybe that's most likely me. So then it becomes a 3-3-1 tie, and then everything goes bad from there. So yeah, there's a lot to think about. So my bold plan was to, the 3 of us change our votes to Eric, and those 3 girls change their votes to Eric. We unanimously vote them out. Interesting. Yeah, smart move. But what if they don't? And the 3 of us put our votes on Eric, they put their 3 votes on whoever they're voting for, and Eric votes for who we said we were going to vote for, and that being Heather. Then it becomes 3-3-1. Yeah, but if that happens and we go to a tie, our 3 votes on Eric, we just vote for him again, and I don't think the girls will be willing to spare him to go down to rocks, will they? It's risky. It's really risky. That's the problem with it. I know it's risky, and I wouldn't. That's why thought I'd try. That's why I said it was a bold move. I said it's a bold move, and I wouldn't go through with it if you didn't think it was safe. The thing is, if we don't go through with it anyway, we potentially could be going home because Eric has a swing vote. So I think we should go through with it. Well, I'm going through with it if you guys will. Yeah, I guess that's what we should do. Look, I haven't heard my name, so I'm not really that worried. And it's Eric. If he goes home, that's fine with me, because out of everybody here, he's probably the person I've got really the least amount of connections with. So I'll be fine with him going, because, like I said, I want to try and build my games on connections, and I don't have a connection with him. So yeah, I mean, I could try and make one, but what? We've got 5 minutes till tribal. I think that's a bit too short. Welcome, newbies, to your 2nd Tribal Council in a row. Eric, does it worry you that, after tonight, guys are gonna be 2 members down against a tribe full of returning players? Yeah, it's obviously a bit worrying. I mean, they're all returning players and stuff, so yeah, they'll be used to winning already, and they'll already be on the high coming into the game, and now with the 2 wins under their belt, I think it's going to be hard to beat them. Chuck, do you feel like everybody, played their part, put everything into it in that challenge? Well, certainly not. Some people played harder than others. I don't want to take anything away from this group. I know this group has a lot of, other strengths other than just a pure strength challenge, and that's what it was. So yeah, there may have been people like James and Heather who may not have carried their weight in the strength challenge, but maybe in a social or strategic challenge they have a chance. So, Emily, does it make you feel a little bit less stressed to hear that Chuck doesn't value strength as a core necessity? Well, yeah, obviously, because, when you look at it, Survivor is outwit, outplay, outlast. And I point out outplay more because outplay is outstrength, I think. And is it? I don't know. Is it outplay or outlast? I'd say it's outplay. Thank you. So yeah, I'd say outplay is more strength-wise, and if that's a core and survivor, then you feel like you need to be really strong. But to hear that from somebody strong themselves, yeah, a little bit less, makes you feel a little bit less stressed. Okay, well, with that it is time to vote. Heather, you'll start us off.
Eric, I'm sorry buddy, I didn't really get to know you, so this doesn't hurt me as much. Probably would have liked to get to know you, but it's just part of the game.
I'll tell the votes. If anybody has a hidden immunity idol and would like to play it, now would be the time to do so. No? Okay, once the votes are read, the decision is final. Person voted out will be asked to leave the tribal council area immediately. I'll read the votes. First vote, James. That's 1 vote, James. Second vote, Eric. That's 1 vote, James. 1 vote, Eric. 5 votes left. Third vote, Eric. That's 2 votes, Eric. Fourth vote, Eric. That's 3 votes, Eric. 1 vote, James. 3 votes left. Fifth vote. Second person voted out of Survivor, India. Eric. Eric, that's 4. No need to read the last 2 votes. Come bring me your torch. Eric, the tribe has spoken. It's time for you to go. After your first tribal, you seem split. After your second, you seem united. How long will this unification last? Only time will tell. Grab your torches, head back to camp. Good night. Well, that was sure something, and I'm actually kind of a little bit annoyed.
I mean, it wasn't even a close vote. I got every other vote other than the vote I obviously casted for James. And what's even more insulting is the last person to vote spelt my name incorrectly. It's a C, not a K. I mean, I probably shouldn't be just complaining about that. I've just been voted out of the show that I could have potentially won $1 million, so maybe I should be whining about that.
I'm disappointed to go out this early, especially because I felt like I had a lot more game to play, but, you know, that's just what Survivor does to you, I guess.